Hey guys. Welcome back. Today we have the first part of what if Naruto was a god and got a harem. So like and sub if you haven't already. Comment down below what if you wanna see next and let's begin. Just when things were starting to look up, said a mysterious figure sitting on top of a large skyscraper while looking down into the carnage that was shown on the streets below. You would think that people would be smart enough to listen to the military when shit like this happens. I guess there are a few who don't really understand what's going on, right, Kurama? Said the figure while looking up at the sky. The figure heard a loud snort coming from his companion. Of course, you fleabags would do something as stupid as that, replied Kurama in a bored tone. Of course this would be boring after seeing it happen over and over for a few days. Some idiot would walk over to a place that they are not allowed to be in, then bam. They get eaten and mutated. It was a horrible sight to most, but to the mysterious man and his companion, it was an everyday occurrence. Kurama, how much longer do you think that this will last? Asked the man. With the help that you provide for those fleabags, I would say a week, replied Kurama with a grunt. Naruto, I think we should leave now that the city can help itself and resume your training in the ninja art, said Kurama in wise tone that made the mysterious man, now named Naruto, laugh like he was being ticked by feathers all over. Gee Kurama, you sound like you're old and wise. I get the old part but wise. As if, ha ha ha, replied Naruto, who was clutching his stomach from the thought of Kurama wise. Due to this he missed Kurama's angry roar from within his mind. However, Kurama will get his payback against his blonde-haired Jinchuriki. Shut up, brat. I am the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune. The one that can destroy mountains with but a swish of one of my 9 almighty tails. Said Kurama with a puffed out chest. Yeah, heard it before, Kurama, it's kind of getting old. Don't you think, you mountain-sized carpet, replied Naruto, while pondering what Kurama had said. He was right though, he should get back to his shinobi training. It. Well, he may be advanced in most of the subjects, he could get better after all. There is no limit he can hit anymore, thanks to the past events that led up to this point. But the sigh, Naruto pondered to the most occurring events that had led up to this point in time. Flashback. We find ourselves looking at a young spiky blonde-haired boy with crimson tip sitting down on his bed, reading a book about advanced Fuinjutsu studies and a book about elemental chakra natures. The boy himself was about 7 with a height of 3/8 inches, around about the height of most boys his age. He currently wore a short-sleeved blue shirt with a matching pair of on-boot pants. This boy was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the 4th Hokage, and his wife Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto was also the Jinchuriki of the Kurama, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, well, the yang part anyway. Naruto was born on October 10th, a day when something terrible happened, and the terrible event was the freeing of Kurama from his previous host Kushina Uzumaki. Due to this event, Naruto and his twin sister Mito had to become the Jinchuriki of Kyuubi, Kurama, to save their home village. It was also the last day of the 3rd Hokage's life, as he had performed a self-sacrificing sealing technique which would summon the Shinigami to seal the Kyuubi, while doing so that the 4th Hokage didn't have to, so he could live with his newborn children and wife. After the sealing, the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, had announced that both his son and daughter had held the Kyuubi, while also telling them that Naruto held the yang part of Kurama's chakra, while his sister held Kurama's yin chakra. Because of this, Mito had become Konoha's princess, while Naruto had become a demon to everyone in the village. Why would people do that? Well, because yang is the darker and the more evil part of yin and yang, so people believed that the demon had taken over Naruto's body at a young age, and due to this, he is considered a demon in their eyes. Now Naruto was by far demonic. He was a boy with an amazing intellect that had shown since he was 2. How was this shown? Well, you notice it pretty easily when a 2-year-old walks and then does the tree climbing exercise right after learning to walk. However, even though he was considered, if anyone noticed him, a genius prodigy that would only appear once a few thousand years, he was pushed away by everyone, including his family. Heck, his family was even worse. They ignored him at every turn and only focused on his sister, who in turn also turned into a bitch to Naruto and took every opportunity to bully him or insult him. Now, well, this would break anybody else. Naruto was one of a kind. He would not ever get broken. He would never break his nindo in never giving up and protecting every precious person he could. He had created his nindo off his own perception of things. Now back to the boy reading his book. Damn, this is boring, thought Naruto, as he had already read everything in this book multiple times to make sure he never decreases in his Fuinjutsu knowledge. Sigh. I wonder if Itachi Nai and Shisui Nai is back from their mission, though Naruto, as he hopped of his bed and heading downstairs towards the front door. Now the Namikaze house that Naruto currently lived in was a modest house. It had 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms and 4 showers. The house also had an onsen in the back, along with a training field used to train in secret, due to seals protecting everything in the training field. Once again modest, compared to most other clans who had owned massive estates that could fit hundreds if not thousands of people in them. As Naruto was opening the door, he heard his father and mother congratulating Mito for getting the first stage of the Rasengan complete, while he on the other hand had completed the technique, even adding his affinities into it. That's right, affinities, as in multiple. Naruto himself had an affinity to all 5 main nature affinities, which are wind, water, fire, lightning and finally earth. However, while he had all 5 affinities, it was at varying levels. His wind release and water were very powerful. His wind affinity allowed him to hover and with more training, the ability to glide or even fly. While his water affinity lets him draw water from the atmosphere like the second Hokage Tobirama Senju, although not at his level. Next came his lightning affinity. While not as powerful as his water and wind affinity, his lightning affinity was strong enough for Naruto to produce red and black lightning. He found this out when his lightning affinity had started to split, then becoming different colors with different effects. The red lightning was more faster and looser than the black lightning, which meant that his red lightning could be used in area attacks, while his black lightning was more powerful and compact, making it good for single or 2-on-1 battles. Now his fire and earth affinities was around the same level, where if Naruto trained enough, his last 2 elements could reach his lightning affinities level, and maybe his water and wind affinities level. With a sigh, Naruto walked off to training ground 44, or as most people call it, the Forest of Death. When Naruto reached the training field, he could see 2 figures battling it out with fire jutsu and rapid taijutsu techniques. Now this is what got Naruto's blood pumping, a full-on shinobi spar fight. Now Naruto understands what shinobi do, but he still couldn't help himself when watching 2 high-grade shinobi duke it out. Once he had finished his thoughts, the 2 figures appeared in front of him. They were Itachi Uchiha and Shisui Uchiha, elite members of the Uchiha clan, and Naruto's unofficial Nai-sans. "Itachi Nai. Shisui Nai," shouted Naruto as he spear tackled them into a massive hug. Truly, Naruto liked Shisui and Itachi the most in the village. However, that's only because they were the only ones who had given him the chance to prove himself. Itachi cracked a small smile while hugging his unofficial brother. He truly didn't see why or how people could think of him as a demon. "Hello Naruto-kun, did you finish your training for your special gift?" Itachi asked, and when he saw Naruto nod his head, his smile grew. "Hey," screamed Shisui, tired of being ignored when he had got Naruto's attention. He had a full-on smile on his face. "Naruto, did you do my training, along with Itachi's schedule?" asked Shisui with a smile. He knew no matter how hard he made training for Naruto, he would always finish it and do more than he is expected to do. It's what makes it fun to train Naruto. "Of course I did, Shisui Nai. Who do you think you're talking to?" said Naruto with his chest puffed out in pride. "Oh really?" said Shisui with an evil grin growing, which in turn made Naruto's spine shiver at the look. "Okay then Naruto, since my training seems too easy, you have to triple it, along with having resistant seals at level 20, said Shisui with a shit-eating grin on his face. Even Itachi paled a little. Having to do Shisui training was hell. Doing it 3 times more and having level 20 resistant seals was just too hard to accomplish. Hell, even he, Itachi Uchiha, thought so himself. However, he also knows Naruto's attitude, so he knows what's going to happen. "Fine, your training was easy anyway. I bet you I can finish your training in a day," Shisui said, Naruto with a finger pointing at Shisui in a dramatic way. Fine, let's make a bet. You do it in a day, and I'll help you with the Shunshin so you can get it to my level. But if you lose, you must wear a pink toto for a week." While reading Icha, said Shisui with a grin. "No way was Naruto accept deal," shouted Naruto, shaking Shisui's hand. And in that day Shisui was depressed. His training was nothing but a little tearing for Naruto, and that he had to help Naruto with the Shunshin. Itachi had watched the whole thing and could only laugh because it was priceless. Now this was usually Naruto's routine. 6:30 AM wake up, eat and shower. 7 AM training in Fuinjutsu and calligraphy. 8 AM chakra control with Kijebushin's. 10 o'clock a medical chakra and genjutsu training. 11 AM lunch and kenjutsu training. 12 AM ninjutsu and secret training. 2 PM taijutsu and ninjutsu with Itachi and Shisui. 5 PM Fuinjutsu studies. 7 PM dinner and Fuinjutsu practice. 9 PM sleep. Naruto would repeat this schedule nearly every day of his life, and because of it, he could safely say that he would be a mid-high jonin in terms of skills and around mid-chunin in experience, since Itachi and Shisui have many different styles due to copying their enemies' attacks and using those attacks against Naruto, so he had a good knowledge of known attacks in most subjects. But it's the next event that would lead Naruto to his new path. Flashback end. "I really shouldn't think back to that event," mumbled Naruto as he slowly got up, showing his appearance of 5'11", which was impressive at the age of 13, with muscles showing through his black skin-tight muscle shirt and black baggy pants, which had been taped off at the ends, along with wearing some red and black Nike runners. Next to him sat a black jacket with hood which had red flames on the edges of the jacket and 5 symbols going in a circle, along with the 6 symbols in the middle of them. The symbols were what defined Naruto, however, due to many battles, since he had left Konoha the symbols had been ruined beyond repair. With a quick little stretch of both arms and legs, he blasted off his perch towards a forest that was quite far from his original position. "Kurama, how much more training do you think I will need to be able to reach the power you think I need?" asked Naruto with an even tone and a straight face, as Kurama had requested that he train till he reached a level that not even the sage of the 6 paths had reached. It had always puzzled Naruto why Kurama wanted him to get stronger than the sage, but who wouldn't want to be that strong? 6 months and you should be ready, and as to why? Well, Konoha is the next village holding the Chunin exams, right? Said Kurama with a full-faced grin, which was matched by Naruto. "Ooh, oh, good plan, Kurama, imagine the faces of everyone in Konoha when they check me out," said Naruto with a puffed out chest while in a heroic pose. "You're still a brat," though, replied a bored Kurama with a shrug, which in turn made Naruto depressed with a cloud floating over his head, raining heavily with small bits of red lightning and black lightning sparks coming out of it. "Shut up, I'm going to be the one who brings peace, you hear me? And not because of the fact you said I should," said Naruto with his nose held high in the air, which made him miss the tree he ran into. Thud. Ha 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 ha, said Kurama as he rolled on the floor on his host's mindscape while crying tears due to laughing so hard. "You son of a number, Kurama, why the dollar and number didn't you tell me of that mother dollar number tree?" screamed Naruto, holding his nose as he knows it had healed the second of the impact due to an abilities he had gained. "Ha, oh my god, a tree, a goddamn tree, knock the mighty Naruto Uzumaki on his ass, ha, laughed Kurama, while using his tails to wipe the tears still spilling out of his eyes. "It's not that funny," replied Naruto with his arms crossed and a pout on his face as he looked at the now broken tree. He had to admit the powers he had gained through his travels were the best, especially his black light virus ability, which he had gotten after leaving and traveling past the elemental nations. Flashback. "Captain, the ship is getting destroyed," shouted a sailor while dodging flying debris which had been torn off the ship. "Well lads, we had done better than most, but looks like we aren't going any further, since this is the last few moments of our lives," said the captain in a bitter tone as he looked at each of his men. However, he had noticed the small blonde-haired kid start swimming towards the storm and slowly disappearing into the clouded winds, never to be seen again, or so he thought. "Damn it, Kurama. Is this seriously the only way to get through the storm?" asked Naruto as he had been swimming through the storm for the past 3 hours and it didn't look like he was getting out of the barrier anytime soon. "Kid, we are close, just about. No. Dive under," said Kurama as Naruto followed his instructions only to find himself sitting on a large amount of sand and a lot of weird looking things that had 4 circles and a dot body. And massive building that he had never though were possible to be able to create. All in all, it was breathtaking. "Kurama, where are we?" asked Naruto in a whisper only due to the amount of awe he had currently going through him. "We are outside of the elemental nations, which is in a dimension seal, along with a barrier seal, set up by the sage of the 6 paths," said Kurama in an even tone, but even he was amazed what he is witnessing through his host's eyes. "That's just amazing, this is amazing, I can't believe that," I said Naruto, only to be caught off guard by something hitting him on his head. So much for his skills, although he was awed, which he had blamed his dropped guard on. "Huh, what is this blackish thing?" asked Naruto while watching the black goo thing just sitting on his hand. Kurama, is it me or is it being absorbed into me?" asked Naruto with a straight face. "Seems so. Let me take a look at it." A couple of minutes later, Kurama had finally spoken. The goo is a mutated virus that is meant to turn all things into a mutant zombie of some sort that would follow the orders of the queen or king while attacking anything else that is not a mutant zombie. However, you seem to be absorbing it and being able to control it, which is surprising. Although you should be blacking out soon due to the rapid changes occurring due to the goo strengthening your body here, so I will see you in a bit later. And with that, Naruto fell face first onto a side bench which he would wake up to for the next few days. Flashback end. I got to admit, thanks to the blacklight virus, my training had taken to new levels, along with doing the added bonus of infusing the blood that had been injected into my bloodstream to kill me. But you got to admit, it's ironic they had chosen to try kill me when the blood didn't match up to any of my blood records, said Naruto with a shit-eating grin on his face. It had been a definite surprise to him whose blood had been injected into him to try and kill him through diseases because of the not matching blood. Safe to say he was extremely happy whose blood he had absorbed into himself. Kurama had a shit-eating grin, showing his massive fangs that would make most, if not all men shit themselves at the irony of the situation. After all, the blood of the only 2 men aside from the sage of the 6 paths that could control him was now part of his host. And now because of it there will literally no such thing as a barrier to stop Naruto from becoming the greatest there ever will be. "Son of a bitch," shouted Naruto with enemy tears pooling down his face. The reason for this Kurama thought it would be a good idea pumping massive amounts of his chakra into Naruto's newly made resistant and gravity seals, which in turn maxed the seals to the maximum strength. What's worse is that Naruto had a resistant and gravity seal on each of his arms, legs, and torso. Now add in the fact that gravity doubles the gravity of the seal each and every time it is upped, and then add the resistant seals that make moving look like a snail's pace each and every time it is activated. Now, this would not be as bad if Naruto had used the normal gravity and resistance seals, which had a cap of 10x, the amount of gravity and resistance a normal seal does. Now since Naruto is a high-quality seal maker, he had created his own gravity and resistance seal, that it went to a level of 100x normal gravity and resistance. Currently, the 4th Hokage is only on gravity level 4x and resistance of 6x. Now because of Kurama, Naruto is currently in a massive crater with broken bones and torn ligaments, along with multiple fractures and injuries, while also wearing his gravity and resistance seal at level 100x the normal amount. This brings us to Kurama laughing his furry ass off and Naruto drowning in his own anime-style tears, which had filled up half the crater he was in. "Screw you, Kurama," shouted Naruto while trying to swim out of his own tears and onto soft safe land, where he could prominently pass out without a care in the world. Hahaha. Well Naruto, you know that in a few days, you will be able to adjust to the weight because of the blacklight virus, always evolving along with me, speeding up the process. So if you would kindly get back to training, we could get back the elemental nations a few weeks before the Chunin exams and go see your 𝐤𝐢𝐳_𝐶𝐗, said Kurama with a slight grin. As soon as he had mentioned 𝐤𝐢𝐳_𝐶𝐗, Naruto started to move and walk around, determined to adjust to his new weight and resistance so that he could meet his 𝐤𝐢𝐳_𝐶𝐗 before having to learn more ninjutsu and genjutsu techniques. The reason for this is while Naruto has near perfect control of his chakra and elemental affinities, which had gotten even stronger, he had no techniques since he had not copied his father's library and instead only learned the Rasengan, along with adding his affinities to it. Because of this, he was really lacking in techniques in both ninjutsu and genjutsu, although now that he thought of it, he might learn medical jutsu, just so he could help Kurama heal him when he gets injured, even though Blacklight and Kurama could make a decapitated head regrow at a rate of a few minutes, but that's only if he had enough biomass from consuming either animals or people to regrow limbs. "Kurama, what do you think we should do about these friends you told me about?" said Naruto in a relaxed tone. The reason for this was after the whole Manhattan incident he had traveled and learned multiple cultures and traditions of different countries and states. It was mind-boggling for Naruto to learn so many different cultures and beliefs. Although his most favorite was the monks he had met on a hill near Japan, the monks themselves had trained him in the ways of peace and Kai, which was the physical part of chakra. It took a while to separate his chakra, and because of this he had gained new abilities from it he learned due to his strong Kai and spiritual energy. He could use the energies separate from each other, so instead of just chakra, he also learned how to use Kai and spirit energy, which he had named 𝐸𝐸𝐴𝑇S. You don't know what this word is? While training with all three forms he found that Kai was more powerful but not very controlled, while on the other hand, 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝑇S was controlled but not as powerful. With this in mind, chakra was the one with the most potential because it could be strong and controlled to a point where Kai and 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝑇S don't even compare. Although Kai allowed him to fly and 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝑇S allowed him to sense anyone in a few miles, he knew he was only scraping the surface of his new abilities. Don't own Dragon Ball or Bleach, only using certain aspects. But currently his problems were with what Kurama had called fiends, which to him were what true demons would look like. He had faced a few of them, along with what appeared to be followers. He guessed the followers were seriously ninjas with a fetish of spider symbols all over their clothes and probably their bodies if he had to guess. But unlike ninjas in the elemental nations, these were true ninjas, stealthy until seen. Then they were really good opponents, although they used weapons like katanas, scythes and many other weapons he would think would be impossible to use. This was one of the reasons why he had taken to learn kenjutsu as well. His sword was special though, as it was made from his biomass. Originally it was a massive blade that was connected to his arms, but it was way too big to be used with finesse, so he had combined his biomass with a katana he had found on his journey to make the most unbreakable sword on the planet, and best part, he could use his affinities to strengthen his weapon even more. This was proven when he had defeated multiple purple fiends during his training near the mountain of Mount Fuji. Although they seemed to have stopped, he had a feeling that the beings resided in the mountain, which had currently brought a thought in his head that he should investigate. Even though his new seals were weighing him down, he felt that he could still fight an army of those fiends and make it out on top. "So Kurama, what do you think? I mean, if they attacked me, they could have also attacked others and possibly killed them. I don't know if I should check or not, so what do you think, furball?" asked Naruto with a serious and slightly joyful tone that he had added at the end with a furball comment. "Shut up you brat, I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune. You are nothing compared to me." "You got that, you little meatbag," said Kurama with a snarl, but that was ruined by his happy expression on his face. He knew Naruto could fight him toe-to-toe and possible win, and that was with his taijutsu and kenjutsu. Even though Naruto could use his bloodlines, which he had gained from the infused blood, he knew Naruto would never do that to him, even if it was to win a fight. That's what Kurama liked about him. He was always fair to everyone and gave them chances, a change that Kurama took to become his friend. Even though he was the darker half of his body, he still knew, even if Naruto didn't try become friends with him, he would have had a partnership with him later on. It brought a little sincere smile to his face, although it went away when he heard Naruto's response, "Ha. As if, Kurama, you know I can kick your ass while I have my eyes closed and with my arms restricted. I bet I could kick your ass even with one finger, you overgrown fleabag hell. I bet you gained you title of the great Kyuubi. No kitsune cause of your wet dog smell, ha 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 ha," replied Naruto with tears streaming down his face as he had one-upped Kurama, which he regretted after Kurama gave him the mother of all headaches, ungrateful brat. "I could beat you while sleeping." "Well, anyways, regarding the fiends, I think you should check them and consume them to gain a bit more understanding of what's going on," said Kurama, with an even tone. Even he had no clue what was going on, but he was getting curious about it. "Okay, let's go, Kurama," shouted Naruto as he blasted from his little training ground at the base of the mountain, destroying many trees with his chakra-enhanced speed, due to his original speed being weighted down due to gravity and joints restricted from his seals. But he had to come at a stop when he almost crashed into an old man who was bold with fuzzy white eyebrows and white chin hair that had reached his chest and the distinct clothing of a traveling merchant that not a lot of people would see nowadays. "Hey old man, are you okay?" asked Naruto with a hand sticking out for the old man who fell due to the wind speed made by Naruto as he had stopped. "I'm quite fine, young man. What are you doing here? Though it's quite dangerous up that mountain," said the old man with a concerned look on his face. Hell, he didn't expect anyone to be here, apart from a ninja with the name of 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐵 don't own once again. However, he had seen him only a few hours ago, when he went to deliver the dragon gem to enhance his dragon blade. "Oh, sorry old man, but I had been fighting these purple things. I think they are good fiends." At this, the old man swallowed hard and an expression of seriousness had appeared. However, Naruto was busy talking to notice, and "I have had this weird feeling that the fiends had been living in that mountain. So I was planning to travel into the mountain and check it out," said Naruto, while the old man had slowly begun to draw out a hidden tanto blade from his pack, ready to fight the boy who could possibly be working for the archfiend. "Old man, put your blade away. I can sense you doing it, even though your emotions say you're conflicted and confused," replied Naruto with an even tone. He could feel the old man's emotions and his Ryatsu and Kai levels, and for an old man he was really strong. "Well, for people outside of the elemental nations." "How did you know that?" "I had spent many perfecting silent kill techniques," said the old man, flabbergasted that he had been found out. He had completely missed out the fact the boy in front of him could sense emotions. "It's a gift, you could say. Anyway, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha," said Naruto with a grin. He had figured out since he had the blood of two people from the Uchiha and Senju clans, he might as well use the names. After all, he was technically related to them now. "Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, quite a long name, my boy. My name is Muramasa," said the old man, now named Muramasa, with a slight bow, which he regretted when his hip cracked. "Ooh, my back," screamed Muramasa as he was holding his hip in pain, in which Naruto simply walked up to him and transferred some of Kurama's chakra to heal his entire body. Muramasa couldn't explain the feeling. He was in pain a second ago, now he was feeling at peace and feeling like he was a 20-year-old. The first thing he noticed was that the boy Naruto had placed his hand on his back while releasing an energy outside his body. It was similar to Kai, but at the same time wasn't. It was better. But sooner or later the feeling went away when Naruto moved from his position to stand back in front of him. "Hey old man, you feeling better now? I had used some of my energy to strengthen your body and heal it to a level where you won't feel any pain, although I would advise you against doing anything strange activity from now on. Traveling is fine and all, just not skydiving or something," said Naruto with a shrug. He had seen quite a lot in his time here when traveling Europe and Asia. Although Australia was a fun place to relax, it was quite and had a lot of places to camp. "My boy, I don't know what you had done or how you had done that, but thank you," said Muramasa with a sincere smile. The boy in front of him was special. "Ooh. What the hell?" said Naruto, looking up to what looked like a dragon with extra limbs. He had seen the old man's face when he saw the beast, and he became sad. "And old man, keep safe. I fight that thing with that." Naruto ran at the speed of light and delivered a powerful cranium kick. When he had reached the thing, it was literally the coolest looking thing apart from Kurama he had ever seen. It looked so badass. Then he had noticed a dude in all black on the floor with a woman helping him up. However, he was cut from his ponderings by a big ass tail, aiming to hit him into the ground. With a dash to the left, he had landed on the beast's back. His dash ability was from his blacklight along with glide, which with his wind affinity, made it seem like he could fly, although it was hardly the most he could do with his wind affinity was glide, but since his blacklight abilities allowed him to do that anyway, so there was no point in wasting his chakra, even though because of his control and amount, it would take a stupid amount of constant S rank. Jutsu to even waste even a quarter of what he had. Oh look, the tail again, Suo original. I think Kurama actually owns that since he has 9 tails to swipe at people. Suo, this Dragonda stingy got nothing on Kurama. Oh no, you don't, you overgrown lizard. With that, Naruto jumped high into the sky, creating his first original jutsu Futen. Rasen Shuriken. With that, he hurled the spiraling shuriken of death into the back of the massive beast. Time to finish this. With that, he unsealed his bio sword and slashed straight down, splitting the dragon into 2, while also absorbing the beast into himself. Due to this, his bio sword had changed into a sword similar to the blade that the black ninja dude had across from him. The main difference of the blade though was that his blade's color was crimson with a black outline at the edges of the blade, with a cross guard of a dragon spiraling around the blade. The handle also changed. Before it was just a black cloth, now it was a crimson cloth. This black diamonds going down the handle. It truly looked amazing. Hell, he could feel the power of a archfiend dragon crossbreed in the sword. However, before it was a being of pure hatred and evil, now it seemed like a wise and controlled being. Since being absorbed into the blade, it was a nice feeling for some strange reason. Well, it was until the man started to attack him for no sudden reason. Although Naruto could tell he would get his ass kicked in a weapons fight, he would still destroy the man with his pinky finger. If he bothered, could you please stop attacking me? First the old man, and now some random dude who was getting his ass kicked started to attack. Man, people today, who are you? Said the man in a cold, serious tone. It was kind of badass how he looked, and Sunded maybe he could wear a similar outfit. Yo, name's Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha No1 badass and the ultimate ninja. Said Naruto with a puffed out chest, which he lost soon because be heard giggling from the woman before that stopped the ninja's battle instantly. Naruto, because it was depressing, his baddest moment got ruined by giggling, the man in black because it was just stupid. But the sigh, the man lowered his weapon. My name is Ryu Hayabusa, ninja of the dragon lineage, said Ryu with an even tone. Then he noticed that the archfiend's corpus was gone and that it meant he could finally go home and help his village. Thank you for your assistance, but I must return to my village to help with repairs, said Ryu with a light tone, and due to his mask and headgear, an unreadable expression. I'm sure also if you pass by this village near a couple of mountains about 100 kilometers southeast, can you tell them I'm okay? I think it was called the Hidden Village, I don't know why, but yeah, it took a while to repair, though it seemed like a hurricane and fire hit it. Well, see ya, said Naruto, walking away with his hands in his pockets, while about to fall face first of the side of a mountain so he could start his trek home. Wait, said Ryu with a surprisingly pleading tone. Was there a blind man called Joe? Said Ryu. Depending on Naruto's answer, would depend on what he would do. Yeah, he used to be blind. While I was there I decided to heal everyone there. I healed his eyes and most of the villagers' illnesses and disabilities. It wasn't that hard, said Naruto with a shrug. It really wasn't hard with Kurama's chakra. If that's the case, I would like for you to come to my village and learn the ways of Ninpo for your actions here and for helping my village rebuild. And if you did help my father with his blindness, I give you my gratitude. Do you accept? Asked Ryu with an even tone. However, anyone could hear the joy in his voice, knowing that his village is fine. Should I, Kurama? Asked Naruto. While he did have time to waste, he wanted to see his Nai-sans, but learning this Ninpo sounded interesting and maybe learning Kenjutsu and weapons from this man would be a very good thing. Well, Naruto owned him and nearly everything. The one thing he couldn't hope to beat the man in front of him was with weapons. It was amazing how good he was. I think you should. This could be another trump card, and with your dujutsu, it should be easy learning them, and you can practice them while on the move. Maybe even learning how to use a bow would be good. Imagine a chakra-enhanced fire arrow would easily destroy quite a lot of things, and with wind, it would do massive amounts of damage that not much could hope to do, said Kurama, with a wise tone and interested posture. For once the lazy fox wasn't asleep. Good point, Kurama. Thanks for the advice, replied Naruto through their link. Sure, Ryu, I would love to, but how are we going to get there? Asked a curious Naruto until he heard rotor blades and the woman from before flying it. Get on you two. Next stop is Hidden Village. With that, both Ryu and Naruto appeared on the flying machine, which had started flying towards the Hayabusa village. Time skip 7 weeks. Wait for it now, said Kurama while Naruto once again dived under the water to find himself on land. And in that situation, Naruto had announced his return. Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, the first ever Dragon Phoenix Age, has returned. What the hell? Said Naruto while blinking at what he was seeing. It looked like an execution, but no one was supportive of it. I wonder what's going on. Walking up from behind the large group, he heard some mummers saying, no, not the hero of waves, or why him, he saved us all, and a bit of damn Gato, that filthy bastard. All from that Naruto knew this wasn't right, he knew that the man being held up right now was innocent, and the one holding the execution was the one in wrong, so, as Naruto Uzumaki, he won't let it happen. "Hey midget bastard!" screamed Naruto, drawing the attention of everyone there along with Gato, with saying the supposed crimes of the man at the execution stake. After the scream, everyone stopped and looked to the one who had said it, only to see a boy about 13 to 14, who was about 5'11" with spiky blonde hair, with crimson-colored tips, wearing a black hoodie with red lines going throughout the whole. It looks like design Kurama's chakra mode, just not the actual transformation. However, when the red lines go to his stomach, it looks like there is an eradicate design on his stomach of a spiral, with a lot squiggles surrounding it, along with two pointy like things pointing down towards the ground. His pants were simpler with just plain black pants that reach his ankle and cover the top part of the shoes he is currently wearing, which would be his original Nikes of mainly black with red. All in all, he looked like someone who was just badass from just his clothing. However, Gato had to get this execution out of the way and take control of this place before Dawn, who said evil was easy. Then he remembered what the brat had said. "What did you call me? Kill the stupid brat now, whoever does get a million right here right now," screamed Gato while red in the face due to the anger he currently had at the stupid little brat. "You heard the boss, let's kill the hacker," screamed a bandit who had charged in thinking he was getting a million in a few seconds. How wrong. To Naruto, the bandits charging at him looked like they were walking at a snail's pace. No, seriously, without his jujutsu this was pathetic. I mean seriously, he could fall asleep and then kick their asses, oh well. With a tilt of his head he saw a blade fly past him, which he chooses to ignore in favor of kneeing the bandit in the gut. What happened next surprised him. The bandit seriously flew back at the speed of sound due to the strength of the hit Naruto had given him. Because of this, that single bandit flew into his colleges and killed them all due to the impact. Everyone just stared at that. This little kid, even though he was quite tall, need a man with such strength that he killed him and his colleges due to the speed he was sent flying. It was amazing and kinda scary. What if he wanted to work for Gato? Some people started to cry. I mean, who would turn down easy money? "No one, that's you midget bastard. Let the guy go before I tear your goddamn head off," said Naruto with bored tone. I mean seriously, his first fight he killed a whole group of bandits with one strike he was holding back on. Seriously, this sucks. "Unless the people here think you deserve it," said Naruto in an afterthought. Because of this, Gato started sweating. This kid killed all his hired muscle in 10 seconds. What the hell did he do to deserve this? Get me as an author D. Wait kid, how about a deal, said Gato with a slight grin, knowing no one turned him down on his offers. At this, the people of Waves started holding their children closer, while the man at the stake was looking down at the kid with a slight smile, which a few people noticed. "If you work for me, I will pay you 10,000 yen an hour. 1 yen equals $1 just to make it easier, and as a bonus, if you kill this man brutally, I will give you some slaves to please yourself. What do you say?" said Gato, with shit-eating grin on his face. "Not way someone would turn down. Hi, the hell you take me for asshole. I'm not going to do shit for you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I will always help the ones in need, and I will always protect those close to me, so take your offer with you to hell, cuz you just pissed me off, you asshole," said Naruto in a pissed off tone with a hint of rage and anger in it. At that moment, the people of the Waves started to cry. The heavens must have sent this boy to save them. There was just no way people do this for no reason. While people were thinking these thoughts, Gato, in a last-ditch effort, grabbed his cane and a sword from his dead bandits and held it at Kaisa's throat in attempt at stopping the blonde-haired monster from attacking him. "Step 1 more food closer and he dies," said Gato, who was grinning like a loon thinking he would now be safe. How wrong. "Who dies?" asked Naruto from behind Gato. At this, Gato attempted at slicing Kaisa's neck. It would have worked if he was still there. At this, Gato looks up to see Kaisa and his family hugging together with tears of joy pooling down their faces. At this, Gato looked up at his soon-to-be killer, which now looked like a god with how the light illuminated him. Naruto took no time in lifting the midget up with one hand. "Gato, I don't know you at all, but from the way the people here talk about you and your previous actions tell me that you are nothing but scum, but I don't believe it." At this, the crowd was dead silent. Was their new hero going to help Gato? Was him being nice all an act? They hope not. Noyu are worse than scum. Trying to break families apart, crushing all their hope. Noyu don't deserve to be scum, because you are no longer a human. You are a sin itself that I will kill to help others. I'm not naive enough that everyone should get a second chance. However, I do give everyone a second chance, but you blew it away. So sorry, Gato, but your time ends now, said Naruto in a straight face with a depressed tone. He slowly lifted Gato up, who by the way was shouting angry things, and threw him in the air and bio-bombed him, while also absorbing Gato's knowledge for bank statements, his slavery rings and his businesses. He probably will give most of the money Gato owns to the Wave and a few businesses to Wave as well. Sigh, well that's over, said Naruto in a depressed tone. He hated killing. It truly was one thing he hated with a passion, but it was a must sometimes. A few seconds after Naruto killed Gato, the people of Wave jumped up and chanted hero while grabbing Naruto and throwing him up. It truly made Naruto feel better to know that he was considered a hero here. Unlike his hometown. Flashback before Naruto left age 10. Demon. Shouted a group of villagers trying to capture the Kyuubi brat. No, not their princess, but the demon boy. Why do you all want to hurt me? Screamed Naruto. All throughout his life he had gained only pain and betrayal. The villagers had always hurt him, always called him names, and had always made life hard for him. You would think that being the son of the 4th Hokage would help him out, but no. Even the 4th Hokage and his wife didn't help Naruto to them. Naruto was a failure in both a son and likely ninja, although they haven't even trained Naruto, thus they don't know how far ahead Naruto is truly from Mito in everything, and the kicker is they ignore the fact he gets beaten up. Hell, they don't even care. Then the betrayal of the Ichiraku family. Naruto always thought that he was welcome there until he found out they put poison in his ramen. That hurt Naruto the most. All those smiles while he was eating were fake, and they truly were smiling for his death due poison. It truly made him sad. Then the next people he cared about were his godparents Jiraiya and Tsunade. Tsunade didn't even try to be a godmother to him, only to Mito, but Jiraiya on the other had tried to at least talk to Naruto, but Minato, the 4th Hokage, always got him to tell stories to Mito about him. At least Jiraiya didn't brush him off and tried to help him. That thought brought a smile to his face. There will be people who will accept him, he just has to find them. Jiraiya was proof he just needed to get to know him. What's the demon smiling about? Asked a villager who had brought a kitchen knife to stab the child through the stomach for killing his cousin's wife, sister, niece, cousin's child. He was rewarded with silence. When he had turned around, the only thing he had saw was 2 gleaming red eyes with 3 black tomos spinning slowly. After that he fell to the ground unconscious. Naruto only looked at the pair of eyes and slowly he smiled a smile that reached his eyes, and with that Naruto ran to them and gave them a hug. Well, both of the owners with the red eyes returned it. Yes, Naruto now knows it is possible to get people to accept him if he tries hard enough. With tears streaming down Naruto's face, he slowly falls asleep hugging his new unofficial Nai-sans. Flashback end. With a smile, Naruto was let down, so his feet were touching the ground below him with a fire in his eyes. Naruto shouted a few words that made the villagers tear with joy. The wave is free. And with that there was a party that ranged for 3 days and nights, all while celebrating a new hero of the wave, which brings us to Naruto sleeping on a bar table with a bottle of sake held in his hand, due to his blacklight virus, which he now considers a bloodline. And Kurama, he could never get truly drunk, and he can enjoy the taste of sake when he celebrates and not accidentally kill anyone while drunk. I mean, what do you get when a drunk person with strength that can shatter mountains gets pissed off and tipsy? Total destruction in general area and a few miles around it. Truly Naruto enjoys life. Excuse me, said a voice that sounded like he met his superhero for the first time. When Naruto looked down, he saw a kid with a bucket hat wearing light blue overalls with a tan shirt underneath looking up at him with admiration. It truly warmed his heart that he saved this kid from feeling the pain Gato would have surely done if he hadn't helped out. Yes, asked Naruto with a slight smile and a relaxed posture. I mean, when you are nearly indestructible, it is kinda hard not to enjoy being relaxed in a safe area, even though it's not a good thing to do. You're the hero of the wave, right? Asked the kid with hope growing in his eyes. Along with his eyes, he could also tell that there was excitement in them as well. Yeah, that's me, watcha need little guy. Asked Naruto with his smile still in place. Oh. My 2 cents told me how you beat up Gato and saved everyone along with the previous hero of the wave. That's so cool, and because of that you have to see what the others have done outside. Look. Said the child with energy that only children could possess. Hahaha, okay, I'm coming, said Naruto with a small grin on his face as he stood up and left a generous tip for the bar worker before he walked out following the small child. They had walked until they had seen what was built in the middle of the small village, and what it was shocked him. It was a picture of him with his arms crossed and a smile on his face looking out toward the front of the village. It was amazing they did this in only 3 days while drunk. And a statue had been made with almost perfect detail. They even had the symbols on his back which most had not noticed while he was beating Gato. The symbols was a 6 magatomas on the outside in a circle, then on the inside, there was the kanji for the names of all the tailed beasts, going from the first tail Shikaku, Matatabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakuo, Seiken, Chime, Jayuki, and finally his partner Kurama, and in the middle of it was 3 connected tomos. No one really knows what that means, because Naruto is the only one who knew what it means. Still, it was nice seeing people doing it for him. While Naruto was pondering, he heard a few people talk about making a bridge so their trade could be a lot more easier and better, listening to their points. Naruto had an idea about that after finding out where they were making the bridge, which was at the front of the village. Naruto waited till everyone went to sleep. With everyone asleep, Naruto continued with his plan. Standing in front of an edge of a cliff, Naruto put his hands together and guided chakra into the ground. After a few seconds of waiting, hundreds of roots shot from the cliff face and connected with the other side. forcing more chakra in. He made the wood clean itself, so it was flat and straight along with being shining, which signaled that the wood being used was a special type of wood that was more durable than steel, and it was resistant to fire. After that he made more roots turn into fences that surrounded the bridge to make sure it was as safe as it could get. It took around about an hour because Naruto actually had no jutsu or way to train his Mokuton chakra, so it was easier to use. Currently he was finishing up on the bridge by adding supporters underneath the bridge, even though it wasn't necessary, it was just so the people felt safe going across the bridge. But the bridge done, Naruto decided to fall asleep while leaning against a fence he had made. Soon soft snoring was heard coming from Naruto. What he didn't know was that the small child from before was watching the whole thing moving away from Naruto's spot. He quickly gathered people who were still awake to get everyone else to see something Naruto did. The villagers did so in a few minutes, and when everyone saw the bridge they smiled and waited for the child to wake up tomorrow. When Naruto came to, the first thing he saw was that there was people surrounding him. He first thought he was under attack until he saw he was on his bridge. Hi everyone, Naruto spoke, still half asleep. He slowly got up and got into a massive group hug with nearly everyone in the wave. It was kinda cool, everyone liked him and all. He'd said an old man by the name of Tenzuna, which Naruto heard when he was listening to the plans of the bridge yesterday. You are truly an amazing child. Thank you for this. It really is amazing you would go so far for us. Complete strangers, so with 100% support. Everyone thanks you for your actions, said Tenzuna with a smile. He couldn't explain the feeling he was feeling. His daughter still had her husband and his grandchild still had his father. It was amazing. Ain't no problem guys, said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head with a hand while standing up. Oh, also I'm letting you all name the bridge, okay? But also I got to go. I only planned to stay here at least 5 days, and I better get going, so yeah, thanks for all your kind words, and I'll maybe one day see you all again later, said Naruto as he started to walk away until he couldn't be seen due to the forests. That is until Naruto ran back while one again rubbing his head. Oh, also the bridge is made of a special wood that is stronger than steel, and along with being fireproof, so no need to add anything to it. Okay, said Naruto with a big smile on his face. So see you later again, said Naruto as he dashed into the forest with Kage level speed, which was once again restricted of his usual speed, but while he was running he still heard the name of the bridge and smiled. He heard the cheers of the new name. The great Naruto bridge, it brought more joy to him all his life. He was fighting against others, trying to make them see him for him and not the furball inside of him. No objection to being called furball. Yep, Kurama's asleep, lazy asshole. At that point, he heard a slight grumble from his mind. So I know well, summoning jutsu. And with that a poof could be heard and a small phoenix had appeared. Once the small animal saw Naruto, it nested in his hair, which miraculously didn't set his hair on fire. With a cute squeaky voice, the little phoenix asked why she was here. Naruto-san, why did you summon me? Squeaked the little firebird hair. I was wondering if you could scout ahead and tell me how far Konoha would be. After that I'll give you some sweats. Okay, said Naruto in a loving way. He truly loved his summons, both the dragons and phoenixes. They made him feel safe. Along with the grumpy fox, but he won't tell him that till late. Heard it, said Kurama with a smirk. He also wouldn't say that he too cared for Naruto. And I heard that, fuzzball, said Naruto with a smile. Okay, nice, and look, also mommy wants to see you soon, said the tiny phoenix as she flew off. Naruto smiled. He truly did love his unofficial family, and with that he set off to Konoha. At the gates of Konoha, the 2 gate guards Izumo and Kotetsu were working diligently to keep Konoha safe from her enemies. How, you may ask? That simple. Playing poker while half asleep. That's the sight Naruto met when he walked up to the front of the gate. The 2 Chunin gate guards playing poker and ignoring his presence. So what does Naruto do? Prank them. Quickly applying a ninpo he learned from the shrine maidens, he changed himself into a beautiful woman he had met while in the Hayabusa village. Her name was Kasumi, dead or alive Kasumi, and she was a very developed woman who was so badass and cute it wasn't funny. Naruto and Henge slowly walked up to the 2 Chunin, making sure his transformation's breast swang left to right along with the hips shaking. He grabbed both Chunins by the shoulders and asked in a sexy voice that it hooked the 2 Chunin instantly. May I please enter the village? The 2 Chunin just nodded before they both shot back with massive nosebleeds that had painted the whole booth. Bred with a laugh and a camera shot, Naruto transformed back to normal and simply walked through the massive gates to Konoha. Seems that this pathetic village hasn't changed much, said Kurama with a grumble at being back in the village that had sealed him not once, not twice, but 3 times, although his 3rd time was very good. Well for him, he doesn't know about his other half. Maybe that's something he could think about later on. So what's first on the agenda, Naruto? First is relieving my blood clone from his duty. I guess I don't know if he was pampered after I left or treated worse. Guess I'll see soon, said Naruto while locking on his blood clone signature. Now you might be wondering how Naruto knows the blood clone jutsu. Well, he actually learned it before leaving. He didn't want people going after him as soon as he was classified missing, kinda why he left elemental nations in the first place. He had created the clone with his personality to see how the influence of the villagers affected him. Now the clone knows he is a clone, and he doesn't really have emotions itself, but he displays them for the experiment, although since it's a blood clone, Naruto will gain its memories even if Naruto tried to ignore them. But that thought Naruto arrived to a broken apartment, not really where he expected his clone to be. He must be there to visit someone. He walked up the stairs and finally reached a room where his clone was. The first thing that greeted him was the word demon written on top of the door itself. Expecting the worst, Naruto slowly opened the door only to tilt his head to the left, dodging a kunai that would have taken an eye out and probably kill someone if they didn't know of it in the first place. Walking into the room, Naruto heard someone crying. Walking to what looked like a bedroom, he went to the bed and flipped the cover off to only see something that brought tears in his eyes. There his clone was crying while holding on to another two people. These two people had distinguishing features that had made them stand out, but looking to why he was crying, there was the clone malnourished beyond point, looking frail and beaten, then the two people looking at his clone with tears streaming down their faces. When they finally looked up at their assailant, they gasped. There in front of them was almost a perfect copy of the boy they had been with for the past 2 months. With a small hint of fear, they both asked in a defeated tone, "Are you here to kill us? I know that we don't have the money to pay for this place, but we can't afford it. Please give us a chance," asked the two. Now that Naruto looked at them full on, he notices they both were girls. One of them had blackish blue hair that probably reached the top of her shoulders in a wavy manner and had soft black eyes that had the emotion of suffering in them, soft light lips quivering from sadness. She barely had anything on her person, only a loose black shirt with long pants both in black. Her skin had a shine to it, but you could see some bones. She probably was only lightly malnourished. The other one though had blonde hair with red tips at the end, sort of like his hair. She had blue eyes sort of like his old ones. By old ones he means before black light had changed his eye color. It was cooler crimson, and the dujutsu he had also gained strength due to the virus bloodline. She had red lips that too were quivering like her counterpart. She too had a loose shirt, however her shirt color was green, while her long loose pants were white instead of black. Finally he assesses his clone, and it was so sad it shown him how much it was a right choice to leave the village. Deciding to end the suffering, he had placed the clone under. He grabbed his head and said in a tone that made the 3 occupants on the bed relax. "Blood clone, I'm sorry for all the pain I had caused you by leaving you here, but thanks to you, I can finally protect my precious people, and because of that I will remember to summon you as a clone when I get a better suited technique, so thank you, and I will promise that I will protect you friends. Thank you and enjoy the rest you deserve." With his peace, said Naruto dispelled the clone who had given his creator a smile, knowing his friends were safe and he could finally relax. But the poof Naruto's clone dispelled into nothingness. Naruto quickly grabbed his head due to the memories of his clone, and the one thing he had to say was "I'm sorry." It truly was hell on earth for the clone and Naruto reviewing all that happened to him, but the most occurring events were when his family disowned him in front of the village. Itachi and Shisui had to become Anbu for the village, and because of that Itachi, his Nai-san, had to give up on him. It hurt, really hurt, but Shisu is his true brother. Even with people against it, he was always there for his clone. Hell, he even took to wearing a kitsune mask in his honor. It was one of the most pleasant moments of his clone's memories. Next was finding Toki Senju and Satsuki Uchiha, the two women next to him. He saw how Naruto saved them by accident when he had found Orochimaru's hidden base, where he had found the two members in test tubes ready to be tested, but due to Konoha making Orochimaru escape, they had been safe. Then next lead to his clone become really close to both of them. Seems as if his clone was dense, because he could see that they both loved him easily, whether it was from his actions as a person or from saving them he doesn't know. Then came the 3 of them attending the academy. It was easy to see that his clone was sabotaged in everything, whether it was education or taijutsu. It was horrible, but even worse was that Toki and Satsuki were treated bad because Naruto was friends with them. Although they hadn't gotten sabotaged, they constantly got picked on because of others saying they were nobodies who could get killed and no one would care. That pissed him off instantly. Then came the Mizuki incident where his clone had stolen the forbidden scroll from the Hokage office and learned the 𝐫𝐫𝐵, which was ridiculously easy. After that his clone had copied a few techniques that went with the Kage bushing, like the Bushin Daibakuha and Shuriken and Kunai 𝐫𝐵𝐵 no Jutsu. They were great techniques, and the best part, his clone had copied every Mokuton jutsu ever made, along with the elemental training for it. Then came the events of now. Apparently Naruto, Toki and Satsuki had to pay 5 times the cost of the actual price to live here, and because they couldn't get enough today, they were expecting to get kicked out and thrown on the streets. That saddens him to no end, so with a jump, he picked both girls and placed them in a fireman position and jumped out of the house and into the forest of death. Now both girls were scared a stranger killed Naruto or dispelled him and then taken them to the one training ground everyone was afraid of and then set them down. Satsuki, thinking for the worst, said if he could kill them first before raping them, or at least knock them out for it, and Toki also saying things along the same line. That made Naruto cry a bit. Who could do this to others? He knew it was hatred for Kurama, but seriously it wasn't right. But the sigh. Naruto sat on his ass in a cross-leg position, looking ahead of him into Satsuki's eyes and Toki's. He started talking. Hi, my name's Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, formerly Namikaze, it seems. Although I got an idea of what to change my last name into, because it's too long. My likes are Toki Senju and Satsuki Uchiha, who I had found in Irachi team's test tube 3 years ago. My other likes are sleeping and cuddling with you, and eating ramen with the two of you. My dislikes are rapists, cold-blooded killers, perverts, and those who treat you both wrong because of who I have inside me. My dreams for the future are to become the best Hokage ever, and to bring world peace like the how Jiraiya had tried to do, and like how the Rikido Sannin had done. My hobbies are spending time with you both and practicing Fuinjutsu along with training and secretly helping you both in gardening. As soon as Naruto said his hobbies, both girls bolted into him and grabbed him by the neck. How dare you? Pretending to be Naruto-kun, you bastard. Screamed Satsuki with her Sharingan activated with two tomos spinning wildly, with Toki summoning some roots to keep him in place. But what he said next brought them from anger to love and tears. I won't hurt my Heims, no matter what. I would kill myself before I do that. Adabayo, said Naruto with a smile. Slowly Satsuki and Toki stood up and glomped him, silent tears streaming down their faces. Are you still are Naruto? Asked Toki quietly. The clone had my personality before I left. He was an exact copy, and I have his memories, and I can say without a doubt I am the one you both have a massive crush on, right? Satsuki-chan. Toki-kun, said Naruto with a grin. He was rewarded with it too. Blushing, standing up, he held a hand out for them both. Now would you girls like to live in a mansion or two-story? Asked Naruto with a grin. He definitely was rich enough for it after the whole Gato thing, and now due to it, Naruto now owns a company called Uzumaki Spirals, which sells most items and has many businesses along with it, so he was pretty loaded now. But first off, we are going shopping, okay? And first thing first, said Naruto with a serious expression, which sort of made the two girls start to back away, slowly getting ramen. Adabayo. After he said that, he got a slap to the back of his head which made him chuckle. He really likes Satsuki and Toki. After seeing his clone's memories of them, he couldn't help but comment though, and because of that he would be on the ground holding his head from the pain. Ouch, Satsuki-chan, keep hitting me, and I might confuse you for a stronger Sakura, hahaha, said Naruto with a cheeky grin until he was holding his head because of a stronger strike. Okay, I'm sorry, please have mercy, said Naruto crying and holding on Satsuki's leg pleadingly. Finally she gave a sigh and let him up without smacking his head again. Thanks, Satsuki-chan. Man, you seriously, you and Toki's strength from my memories are no joke, said Naruto with a grimace as he rubbed the swollen bubble on his head. Man, it hurt. So back to the question, what do you want for a house, said Naruto, as he had already purchased a massive plot of land at the top of the Hokage monument, but it was quite a bit off from the Hokage office, which gave a lot of privacy. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? You must know that we were broke, right? Asked Toki with a tilt of her head, which indirectly made Naruto think of cute. Well, I have been out of the village for 3 years, and I have gained abilities that would shock you to your core, so let's go to our plot of land, and you tell me how you want the house, okay ladies? Said Naruto with a smirk worming onto his face. He couldn't wait to see their expression when he makes the house from his Mokuton. Satsuki grabbed Naruto's left arm, while Toki had grabbed his right arm. With both securely on, he used the shunshin to travel to his plot of land. Now girls, describe the house, said Naruto, while taking out a notebook and thinking of some things he wanted in his house. I would like to have a training field behind the house along with a onsen connected to the house, so we don't have to go outside to go into it, along with having an indoor pool once again connected to the house. Oh, also a green room, so we can garden, said Satsuki with a finger on her chin, and imagining how in the hell Naruto was going to be able to make everything before night. Finally Toki decided on how the house would be made. Okay, 3-story with an underground basement, which should be held as a library and jutsu practice area, with the first floor living room and kitchen, along with a theater room and game room. For the second floor I would like it to be sleeping area with 4 rooms, 1 main room that can hold the 3 of us, because frankly I've gotten used to sleeping with both you and Satsuki in that room. I would like it to have a massive walk-in bathroom along with closet. For the other 3 rooms I would like them each to have a bathroom, but not as big, with smaller closets. For the 3rd story I would like a study room, and I would like all of this to be in a modern type of building with her piece, said Toki. Fell silent while looking at Naruto with an expecting look, and Naruto took this as his cue to start. Alright. Girls, move back a bit and be prepared to be amazed, said Naruto in an excited tone with a fire burning within his eyes. When Toki and Satsuki moved back, Naruto positioned his hands into a prayer-like hand sign. This made both girls' eyes widen with shock. Their Naruto couldn't do that, right? Naruto, waiting for the anticipation to get high enough, made his chakra flow, which had slowly made the ground shake. Soon, thousands of roots raised from the ground and formed the house. Both Toki and Satsuki had imagined it was amazing to both girls. They seriously wanted to jump Naruto, but it waited until he was done. 15 minutes later and their dream house was done, and that was the cue to jump Naruto and kiss his cheeks, which Naruto responded with a massive blush that would have made a tomato jealous. Hahaha. It was nothing, you know, said Naruto with a stupid grin, at which Toki and Satsuki kissed his cheek again. It really was their Naruto, and not just a fake. Well, we still got to go get furniture, said Naruto in an even tone. He really doubts anyone would remember him unless they see his whisker marks, which had now looked thinner and closer to his face. But we can't afford it, Satsuki reminded Naruto with a pout, which was washed away when Naruto pulled out a suitcase from somewhere and opened it up to show thousands of yen all stacked neatly in the case. As soon as Naruto pulled his case out, he was literally dragged around buying everything the girls had wanted. He had heard multiple comments from villagers, but chose to ignore them in favor of enjoying Satsuki's and Toki's time together. Near the end of the day, as they were walking by Ichiraku, Naruto smelt the sweet smell of ramen and couldn't help himself enter. So what if they poisoned his ramen? He couldn't die from it. So what's the harm dragging Satsuki and Toki with him? Naruto sat down in the middle of them both and ordered himself 30 bowls of chicken ramen, with both girls ordering 1 beef and miso ramen. Now the AM had seen Kushina Uzumaki and her daughter eat 7 bowls of ramen before getting full, but this kid literally ordered 30 bowls of chicken ramen. It was amazing. While she was spacing out, Naruto spoke for the first time since entering OAM. Also, do me a favor and not put poison in my bowls, please, said Naruto with a smirk, while AM, looking closely at Naruto, paled. How was this possible? What happened to the twerp who she had beaten up last week with her dad? Looking at Naruto again, he flashed her a grin. AM, if you do this for me, I will pay you 20,000 yen, along with a tip of 10,000. But you have to sit and have some ramen with me as well. I want to see if I'm so bad. Do you accept? AM now started sweating. Her dad wasn't, because he was on a business trip and would be gone for a few weeks, and it had been harder to get customers since the twerp Naruto stopped coming a few months ago. She didn't know why, but it was getting harder to pay the rent, and if she got this, she could pay for the whole stall. With a sigh, she had accepted. Fine, but if you do anything else, scream, said AM in a suspicious tone. 30 minutes later, we find AM laughing her ass off and enjoying the company of Naruto and his friends. Then he was like, I am possible, and started to cry, said Naruto, pissing himself laughing like the other 3 occupants there. It was amazing. 30 minutes prior to meeting Naruto, AM was defensive and suspicious. It truly was amazing how Naruto could make friends of most of his enemies. So that's 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐲𝐻𝐈 of the Shunshin had worn a pink toto on his missions for the week. I mean, he came in twice and he was wearing a mask, but because of Minato wanting him to follow the bet, told everyone of his identity. He was a laughing stock for a week. It was hilarious, said AM, crying in joy. It was so fun talking to Naruto and his friends. She definitely got him all wrong. Yep, say, does anyone have pictures? Naruto asked, only to see everyone shake their heads. Damn, no blackmail. Toki, who had almost fell off her chair, saw the flaps to the stall open, looked on in worry, as the only people she thought Naruto couldn't stand were right there: Minato Namikaze, Kushina Namikaze, and finally the heiress of both Uzumaki and Namikaze, Mito Uzumaki Namikaze. AM too had seen the mentor and gasped until Naruto too looked. You could hear a pin drop at that moment. Satsuki and Toki were ready to hold Naruto back, and AM was ready to help the others hold him back, but Naruto simply stared until a grin formed onto his face. He will never hate his birth family for what they did, but he sure as hell isn't going to be friends with them. So looking back, that is ramen. Naruto continued with his story. So 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐲𝐻𝐈 had actually cried because he lost the bet. Then Itachi had laughed as well. He actually laughed, man. I haven't heard a high-pitched laugh before. I mean, after Itachi laughed, he threatened to tie me up naked on a flagpole because of me hearing it. Man, his face, though, it was too much, said Naruto with tears once again pooling down his face, which was shared with the rest of the girls until they heard the Hokage ask for service. Sorry Naruto-kun, gotta work. Are you still going to be coming back later? Asked AM, as she started to take notes of what the Namikaze family wanted. Although when she asked that, they had turned their heads to look at who she called Naruto-kun, and their jaws dropped instantly. They could tell that was their disowned son, but at the same time they knew he was different, which had shocked them into silence since they had seen the child a few days prior. Of course AM, any chance, said Naruto with a grin splitting his face, as AM glomped him for saying that before. When she had hated Naruto, she despised him for saying that, but now it felt nice, really nice to hear that. Okay Naruto-kun, be safe, and Satsuki-chan, Toki-chan, keep him away from trouble. Okay, said AM with a grin on her face, which made Naruto retort with a hey. Well, both Satsuki and Toki grinned, then pinched Naruto on the face and start dragging him out to their new house, or they would if Mito hadn't decided to put in. Hey losers, what were you doing in here? No one of ninjas allowed where they make the food of the gods, said Mito with a superior tone. At that, Naruto's eye twitched multiple times before replying, if that is true, then those with impure hearts may not enter this divine palace at which they serve the food of the gods now be gone. Those of foul heart, said Naruto in a powerful sage voice, but that was ruined with his cheeky grin that had snuck up on his face. He could hear AM laughing as he walked out and Mito's rants. All life is good for Naruto and his two favorite girls, who had resumed pinching his face again. I hope you guys liked the story. If you did, click on any of the videos which are popping on the screen right now. I promise you'll love them too. If you like my videos, you can like and subscribe too. I'll see you on another amazing What If video, guys. Love you all, peace.